A dropout like you, a banker.
At my 20-year high school reunion, a classmate, now a banker at a major bank, looked down on me, who had only a high school diploma. He graduated from a top-tier university and came from a very wealthy family, always being flashy even during our school days. In contrast, I was just a low-key member of the computer club, so it's no wonder he mocked me. If he was in the spotlight, I was like a mushroom in the shade.
Which bottom-tier bank are you at?
The other classmates laughed along with him. Suddenly, a classroom scene flashed through my mind. He always teased me relentlessly, making me the butt of jokes. It seems his character remains rotten, no matter how prestigious the bank he works at.
Come to my bank sometime. Let's exchange business cards.
Satisfied with tormenting me, he laughed heartily and started looking for another target. Should I really go greet him at his place? I can easily imagine him turning pale. But he doesn't know that. My name is Michael Thompson. I work from home. This work arrangement only came into place a few years ago. Before that, I was going to the office like everyone else. I've always been bad at socializing, so I begged the CEO to set up a system that would allow me to avoid interacting with people as much as possible. As a result, the remote work system was surprisingly well received. It led to providing our remote work system to other companies, and the unexpected progress made the CEO very pleased.
Well, it's like pennies from heaven. I never thought our performance would improve this way.
The CEO said, sitting in a grand chair, fanning himself and smiling. It's all thanks to you agreeing to it, sir.
We've been getting thanks from the employees who switched to remote work. One from accounting even moved near the beach. It's amazing how everything can be done with just a computer nowadays. It's a bit lonely not seeing each other's faces, but if we keep clinging to the old ways, we'll just fall behind.
After the long talk with the CEO, I went to a cafe. I ordered a huge parfait to relieve stress. Even if it's just for a few minutes, the monthly meeting with the CEO can be quite draining. Why am I so uncomfortable around people? It's probably because of my high school classmate, James Parker. James's family was wealthy, and in high school, he was the popular guy, part of the upper social echelon. As for me, I'm not the standout type, nor do I have any particular talents. So, I secretly admired someone like James, and also felt inferior to him. Somehow, James heard about it, and one day said to me,
You, a bottom feeder, admire me? A dropout like you.
The loud laughter of James and his entourage still haunts me to this day. Since then, I felt looked down upon by everyone around. So, I immediately threw the invitation card for the high school reunion I found in the mailbox into the trash. What's the point of meeting now? I'd just be revisiting the many unpleasant memories and get hurt again by meeting those schoolmates. But is that really the right choice? I've been working hard since graduating from high school. I've failed, faced setbacks, and had days of groping through the dark tunnel endlessly. But now, I can somewhat take pride in my life. Recognized by the CEO, appreciated by the colleagues, I understand my own worth. Maybe now is the time to go, stand tall, and redeem the past. I was surprised at how much fighting spirit I had, looking at the invitation peeking out of the trash. I had always thought of myself as calm, detached, and the type to give up. The next day, after work, I went to buy a suit and dropped the slightly bent RSVP card in the mailbox. As I watched it safely drop into the mailbox, I was filled with a sense of exhilaration. My life is definitely heading in a good direction. The invitation to the reunion came at this time, surely as a way to settle the past I had contained. That's what I thought at the time. And then, on the day of the reunion, I opened the door with a bright feeling. There were faces I remembered without needing to ask names. Some classmates tilted their heads upon seeing me. I was a plain student, so it's understandable if they don't remember. After greeting everyone, it seemed that the past I was concerned about was trivial to others, not even worth remembering. The thin, invisible wall I felt back then didn't exist, and we could talk quite casually. Maybe it's proof that we've all grown up. Soon, there was a cheer near the entrance. Looking towards the lively voices, I saw a tall man standing out from the crowd. There was a person there who really gave off an intellectual vibe. It was definitely James. He noticed my gaze and greeted with a hey and a wave. The fact that he greeted me so casually, and that he didn't hesitate to say hello despite being surrounded by others, made me realize that the memories of the past might have been somewhat embellished in my mind, and maybe James was actually a nice guy. I even thought that my one-sided aversion might have twisted my memories. With a friendly smile, he made his way through the crowd and stood before me.
Long time no see. Never thought you'd come.
Yo, I wanted to see everyone after so long. How have you been, James?
Pretty good. What are you up to now? You didn't go to college, right?
Standing before James, my heart was still racing, but I was moved to be able to converse as equals. I was talking to James, the once popular guy at the top of our high school social ladder. But that thought was short-lived. As soon as I mentioned the bank I work for, James smirked coldly and said,
What? A dropout like you, working at a bank? Which bottom-tier bank is it? Don't lie, man.
His smiling face made me feel dizzy. It was just like old times. No, don't get it wrong. I work in IT at the bank, so I'm no match for you, James. A wave of shame washed over me. The fleeting dream turned into a nightmare, baring its fangs.
Of course. I work at a very famous major bank, the Central Branch no less.
Oh, really? The bank he mentioned. It was ironically the same bank I work. The Central Branch might have a good location, but to the headquarters staff, a branch is just a branch.
What's with the smirk? Can only laugh to hide your shame, huh? Must be a local bank then.
James, seeing my silence, assumed on his own that I worked at a local bank.
Listen, if you're just a pathetic bank's ID guy, better hide your background. It's embarrassing for us bankers, you know. Hey, come visit my office sometime. I'll give you a tour. We can even exchange business cards at the entrance if you like.
He patted my shoulder, looking pleased, and then left. James, it seems, hadn't changed at all. No, it felt like he had become even more accustomed to looking down on people than during our high school days. After the reunion, James contacted me several times. He was serious, persistently calling me to visit his bank.
It'll be fun, right? You're probably just bored anyway. Or is your pride getting in the way?
He probably intended to make a spectacle of me and laugh. Well then, I guess I'll just have to roll with it. Put my heart and soul into it. Lay everything on the line. All right. I'll come when it suits you, James. Next Tuesday works for me. That's fine.
I'm really looking forward to it.
James ended the call, clearly delighted with my response. I thought maybe someone had knocked some sense into him, but it seems no one stopped him. Rather, it's pitiful that a grown adult feels the need to look down on others to be satisfied. The moment for my retaliation was drawing nearer. And then, the day I was to meet James arrived. I wasn't nervous at all. I dressed in the expensive suit I had bought and tightened my tie. It's okay. You've always done well. I encouraged myself in front of the mirror. Be confident, it'll be okay. You've always been passionately committed. Upon arriving at the Central Branch, I unexpectedly encountered a significant figure at the entrance. It was the bank chairman, Steve. Accompanied by secretaries, he exuded a solemn atmosphere. Steve. As I called out, the chairman's face brightened slightly upon seeing me. He's always been fond of me, like a grandson. and I've revered him like a grandfather.
Is that you, Michael? What brings you here?
Actually, a classmate of mine works here. He wanted to show me around the company.
Well, that's a classmate with some nerve, calling you here.
The chairman is usually a friendly old man, but occasionally there's a sharp glint in his eyes. And I felt his unique, slightly intense aura, something only the chairman could emit. He's just a classmate. He seems to want to show off this impressive workplace. As I hastily explained, James arrived.
Hey, Michael. Oh, the bank chairman.
He immediately showed deep respect upon seeing the chairman.
I'm terribly sorry for the intrusion. I was just.
No, I was just passing by and decided to stop in. We didn't have an appointment.
It's scorching out here. Let's go inside.
James did a complete 180 in his attitude towards me and started buttering him up.
Hey, Michael. Greet the man. He's the top guy at our bank. Not someone folks from a local bank usually meet.
Hastily speaking to me, Steve looked puzzled and said,
Well, Michael, since when are you at a local bank?
Michael?
James furrowed his brow hearing the chairman call my name with warmth. Steve, James is mistaken. He thinks I work at a local bank. Well, he ended our conversation before I could explain.
Not listening to someone fully isn't good. James, was it? Please, get us two some coffee. Is there a room available?
Oh. Yes, I'll check right away.
James hurried back inside.
That's your classmate. Seems like a rather assertive person.
Yes, he's always been the central figure, unlike me. Responding that way, the chairman narrowed his eyes and said,
I like your humility, Michael. Your unassuming nature and treating everyone equally.
James returned hastily with the branch manager and ushered us into the manager's office. Sitting on the luxurious sofa, I sank deep into its softness. Taking a nap on such a plush sofa would surely be comfortable. By the way, James, I brought my business card. Remember, we promised at the reunion. At my words, James responded with an embarrassed Yo. Let me introduce myself again. I'm Michael Thompson from headquarters.
From headquarters. Michael Thompson.
At my introduction, the branch manager tilted his head, and then he let slip. Feels like I've heard that somewhere before. Receiving my business card, James turned pale, whispering, Headquarters.
Headquarters. But Michael didn't go to college.
That's right.
I graduated from a prestigious university. And I'm at a branch while a high school grad like you is at the headquarters. Impossible. There must be some mistake. Maybe connections, since you're close with the chairman.
Hearing James's words, the chairman nodded significantly and said,
Well, that's probably it. I despise arrogant people. That's why I specifically requested that such individuals not be placed at the headquarters.
After being sharply riveted by the chairman, James remained silent, looking down. Meanwhile, the branch manager and the chairman were chatting amiably. James, who once exuded authority in the classroom, now seemed utterly diminished. On the way back from the branch, the chairman handed me a charm from his pocket.
This was given to me by my grandfather when I joined a company. I want you to have it.
I can't accept such an important item. Besides, you have grandchildren close to my age.
No, if you hadn't offered me your umbrella that day, I would have given up on life long ago. Please, I want you to have it.
It was the day before my job interview. In a sudden downpour, I met a man standing drenched in the rain, utterly desolate. He had just told that his wife was diagnosed with cancer with only 6 months to live, and he looked completely worn out, like he was about to collapse any minute. That's why I couldn't help but offer my umbrella. Afterward, we entered a nearby cafe and continued with light conversation until the rain stopped.
It had been a while since I had someone who saw me just as a person, not knowing anything about me.
Until I entered the final interview room. I didn't know that the man I had talked to was the chairman. It was like a storybook, a fateful encounter. I was happy and grateful that he treasured our connection so much. Though the IT department was expanding and education didn't matter in the job listing, I thought it impossible to get into a major bank with just a high school diploma, and my job hunt felt like a gamble. During the interview, the interviewers seemed only interested in candidates from prestigious universities, and I felt ignored. So when I received the hiring notice, I almost called HR to confirm it wasn't a mistake. My grandfather always taught me to live honestly. He said if you ever feel lost, follow your heart, because it's always straight and true, advising never to choose a path that felt wrong. That's why I offered the umbrella. I felt something off about the chairman's condition. My heart was urging me to talk to him. I never imagined it would lead my life in such a way. I think I'll visit my grandfather's grave after a long time. Thanks to him, I became a better person. I just want to say, surely there will be times ahead when I hit a wall, feel down, blame myself, and wander in dark tunnels. But I know that no night lasts forever, no matter how long the tunnel. The sun shines in every place, no matter where you are. So no matter what comes, I will steadfastly trust in myself and wait for the dawn. For those who gave strength to the one called a dropout, I must live my life fully and repay their kindness. I've decided to live without being held back by the past,